Don't worry about me. I'm just over here building a Heracross team right now.
Yeah, you were talking about it earlier. I'd love
for
discussing.
No.
No, it's for we're trying to discover the next secret sauce.
Oh, okay. It's a serious building. Got it.
Well, it's Heracross. Welcome to the Game Corner, another video game podcast. My name is Rorix, and you might know me in real life as Harrison, and I'm joined, as always, by my friends and co-hosts.
Rowan, you might know me as Mocha, and you should also know that drinking before day 2 is a terrible decision.
Well,
medium decision.
For some.
And I am joined by...
This is Captain Unova. Probably know me as Sheldon. Maybe the other way around. I don't know yet.
I flipped it on purpose. I don't know. I don't know if I got you on that or what.
You did. I wasn't listening to you. I was busy building my Heracross team here. So
okay. Now that's definitely the cold opening is all of that. How are y'all doing? We are like 3 days after Charlotte. Thereabout.
Got that con crud. So
Yeah,
not great.
We're
At
dying.
least it's not actually COVID, so there's a plus side, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I guess COVID is is it the high end con crud now? It's not just like the normal whatever this is. But yeah, people who are listening, we apologize in advance. Harrison and Rowan are sickly, and then Sheldon's he drank it all away. I think.
Yeah.
Alcohol kills germs. That's what they tell you, right?
Well,
I think that's how that works. Yeah.
99% of all germs are killed by
the math. The math works.
So
Sure.
start mainlining Everclear after events. Don't do that.
Wow, that's
Disclaimer: that is a joke for legal and other reasons.
please, that's a joke. Anyway, so if you hear noises like that, that's because I'm too lazy to edit them out, but I will try and mute myself. Anywho, what do I want to talk about? I mean, obviously there's Charlotte, and I think that is where we should start because I don't know about y'all. I had a blast. It was so much fun.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
Charlotte and then Fort Wayne next week are the big things on the docket, I think. But
there's one more thing. There's also locals.
Locals are back. Yeah.
Locals are coming back. They're not back yet. It's unfortunate.
They will
but
be. They are confirmed back.
They're
We've been talking about
confirmed.
them forever, so I'm very happy to see that.
So let's hit up Charlotte. We all got there Friday. That's not true. I got there Thursday night. We all stayed in an Airbnb with Kevin and Pierre from Pokesports, and then the three of us and then my wife all showed up.
And all played some really good Pokemon. I think everybody here did pretty well. Yeah,
we did. Like, shout out to our very own Mr. Rowan over here. He got day 2, went 7-2 on day 1. What'd you finish at?
Less good on day 2. I did 1 and 4 on day 2.
You got to day 2.
Yeah. No,
1 and 4. So you're
something I was realizing as I was going from table to table is like there are no easy matchups. Like sometimes on day 1 you'll be like, okay, I just lost to someone really good, and then you play a rando and you kind of get your confidence back, right? This one was like, okay, I lost to Nora. She's really good. Let's say, this person's okay, and it just keeps kind of going that way.
Yeah, day 2 is the gauntlet.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
It's rough. So, but it was a really cool experience. The only not good part of the experience is that you have to start playing your games at like 8 something in the morning. So that's maybe okay for normal humans, but not for degenerates. So yeah, I'm gonna.
Well, okay. Preface that, right? Like, we finished the day. We finished day 1. We're all in high spirits because of just how freaking good everyone did.
Yeah,
like everyone in
our whole friend group, actually, like the Georgia and South Carolina crew as well, all like really pulled it in. I think a lot of people ended up with 6-3 records, and that's so cool to see.
Yes, like we were between rounds, we would find our little corner in like the main lobby of the the convention center, and like 15 of us would all like congregate, and it was like us, the Georgia crew, the Carolina crew, like we'd all just hang out, be like, hey, how's everyone doing? What happened? And then we'd check RK9, parents would go up, and then we'd all disperse in the same direction down the escalator again.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone I think did really well.
Yeah, it just goes to like these events are so much better with a crew of people that you enjoy spending time with.
Yeah.
The difference between this and Knoxville and Orlando versus what I had in San Diego, where like it was really just me and one other friend there, like it was just such night and day. And I think that even reflects in your results too when you're.
Who did you
when you're
hang
in a
out
good
with in
space.
San Diego?
It was me and Bruno were the only ones who went.
Oh, it was Bruno? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, we hung out with Ashton Cox a good bit too,
Sure.
since they're friends. But yeah, I mean, it was on the opposite side of the country, and all my friends are East Coast, so it was just one of those things.
I mean, yeah, even still, like, you'd be halfway through your day, or sorry, we would be halfway through our day when you'd start, and then we were like, yeah, keep going, or whatever.
And that was a 10-round Swiss event
Yeah.
as well, and on top of which I'm 3 hours ahead in terms of jet lag. So by the time we were getting to like round 6, 7, 8, for me it was already like very much time for bed.
Sure.
I feel like that just being on the East Coast playing in a tournament here.
Well, okay, you have a weird sleep. You get up at like 4 a.m. every day.
I have
anyway.
I probably have those normal. Well, actually,
Sheldon,
that's
no,
true.
you and I are on the opposite ends.
Yeah.
of
What are you
the
talking
spectrum.
about? Yeah, I'm sitting in
You're
between
the
the two
normal.
of you
I
two.
think Harrison's the only normal one here.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Normal sleep schedule.
There we go.
I don't think any of us are normal by any means. But yeah. Oh, I just realized okay, sorry. This is completely off topic, but I just looked behind Rowan and saw his Squirtle, which is the same Squirtle that a friend of mine just got me.
Oh yeah, he's sleeping on the spiel.
And we continue to have the same exact taste in Pokemon. That was another discussion point we had. Anyway, Sheldon, how was your Charlotte?
It was fun. Could have went better. 5-4 for me.
5-4?
Yeah. Had some unluck.
Yeah, positive's
Right
positive.
after the-
Honestly,
yeah.
like, you gotta just kind of roll with it. I think.
This
Yeah.
is your second.
Second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed is that almost everyone from the groups I've been hanging out with have improved at every regional they've gone. It's certainly happened for me, and for
Which we should, like, you should, I guess. in
Ideally,
theory.
yes.
I mean, at some point you're
Ideally,
going
you
to kind
should
of peak, right? But yeah, it's great because you get used to just the mental of all this.
Yeah. Oh, so that's like one of the roughest things for me is like I hit like round 5 or 6 and like I'm tired. Like
Yeah.
I've played enough Pokemon for one day in a row in this kind of environment.
Yeah, I mean I noticed that, halfway through the day I realize I'm making my decisions much slower, I'm not quite seeing what I want to do, or like I'm just making bad decisions and bad plays, which worked out for me somehow.
If I don't know what I'm doing, you don't know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. If I go to timer and I click the wrong thing, that's probably not what you expected me to do now, is it?
Let's not go to timer anymore.
That happened. Okay.
Oh, God.
Okay.
There might be a reason that you're tired, and it may not be the 9 rounds.
Well, this was
It
like
might be
after that
Garganical
point.
on
Well,
your
this
team.
was like round 6 or whatever.
Yeah, I have. Let me pull up that screenshot because that is a thing of beauty. We were sitting there. It was like 3 a.m. I don't know what round this is. I hope the screenshot has it. But the 15, I should say the 14 of us were all hanging out in the lobby between rounds, and we're like, "What is going on? Why is the round still going?" We check RK9 where you can see all of the tables that are still that have not turned in their match slips yet. And oh my gosh, we talk so much in this chat. Hold on.
Yeah,
But I just
there was
see
good luck
one
finding
match
it.
going.
We just see Sheldon's name sitting there.
One match,
It is-
Sheldon.
It is
Like,
it is 3:47. It is round 6. And all we see is Sheldon versus his opponent, and we're like, "Oh, that's what's going on. It's his fault."
So there is a very good example of what happened in my game. If you go and watch the Paul Chua
Oh, sure.
game, that's exactly what happened. It was the same exact game plan.
I haven't watched the streams yet. I'm not even sure I'm going to because Series 2 is kind of out of my head already. But like,
'cause
what
it was-
what happened?
Paul Chua and
It was fun to see live because we were all like, "Come on."
oh gosh, it was so painful. And Eric Stewart, their match. So it's pretty much he ended up in the same position I did.
It's a
Yes.
wet noodle fight.
Not even a wet noodle. It was like I'm throwing like literal salt at you, and it just doesn't do anything because it's salt, and you're not a
Wait.
slug.
Were you both Both Covert Cloak?
No, he didn't have a Garganacl. So what? So I ended up in a position with Amoonguss and Garganacl on the field. He had Terragrass, Iron Hands, Amoonguss, and Safety Goggles, Arcanine.
Okay.
And I don't even remember what the other one was because it's irrelevant. And so what it turns into is I can't spore anything to pick up momentum because he terra'd his Iron Hands.
Right.
Sulcure doesn't do enough damage to finish off the game unless you can put something to sleep or something like that to, be able to pick up that momentum, get free switches in with your like offensive mons. And so it just turned into this. He swaps something in. It takes a little bit of Sulcure damage. Amoonguss pollen puffs it, heals it back up. Amoonguss switches out after it takes some damage. So it's just this rotation. And I'm doing the same thing with like my Amoonguss. Like I got to get it out to get it healed back up. So I send it back out, and it's just a constant rotation where no one's like actually doing damage. In 3 games to full time.
That's brutal.
It was brutal.
Garg actually did make quite a showing. I've forgotten their name now. There's one of my 2 losses day 1 ended up getting 7th with a Garg team.
Is it Eric Stewart?
Eric Stewart. That's the person. Yes.
Yeah.
And they were the last person to finish almost every round day 2 on the side games, and it was wild. You just see this massive crowd of people gather around to watch Sulcure slowly tick down.
He's got a Palafin. He can do big damage. Come on. And
like I said, though,
he doesn't bring it
in
in the mirror. He doesn't bring the Palafin against other Palafin. He's just depending on the Garg. Yeah.
Yeah, and it depends like on the board position too, because like I said, if you get stuck with an Amoonguss that can't put anything to sleep and a Garg on the field, like you just can't do anything.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
And want to do a quick shout out also to our friend Rich from the Georgia Discord, who got an 8th place finish, absolutely wild top cut, and more wild,
impressive.
did it with Stonejourner, with Stony J,
and his gauntlet of people too. Like he took out some big names.
Wild, yeah. Like I don't have his Arcanine pulled up, but yeah, it was all like you could argue I had an easy run to get my day 2. He did not. Like is.
I also had one more thing about Rich. He finished in 8th. He got knocked out in top 8, so that was awesome still to see. He goes to get his prize packs, right? Because you get that, and guess what he pulled?
Stonejourner.
He pulled a Stonejourner, and I think it was hollow. Not sure, but it was beautiful. I walk over to like congratulate him, and I see he's just got the mat there and a Stonejourner card, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me! That's amazing. Yeah, it was super fun.
Fantastic.
I gave him lots of snacks on day 2 to keep him going. And I think it helped. I think the 2 Red Bulls and lots of protein
he wouldn't have got there if it wasn't for you.
That's not true at all. But it was super fun to see him do exceptionally well there, and really just I met him there. Like I met him the day before, so whatever. And then
I think he's actually relatively new to the scene. I remember meeting him for the first time at one of our locals, like solid year or so back, and I think him and our other friend Chance were pretty new, so he's just picked up the game. So I'm sure he's played Pokemon for a long time, but like just picked up the game really quickly and just improved at a rapid pace. I'm looking forward to USPA next year. We're gonna have a solid Georgia squad. And also shout out to Tanner, one of our younger members who also made day 2.
Tanner did really well too. Yeah. Speaking of USPA.
Yeah,
Florida's in the finals, baby.
Florida's in the finals.
Florida got the win.
Nice. Who are y'all up against?
New Jersey.
Ooh, they're good.
Yeah, the lineup that we
beat them. We beat them in their season. So you'll beat us.
We'll see how it goes. Too. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Speaking of doing well on Saturday, can we shout out Becca?
Yeah,
that's probably the most impressive run of the entire tournament. Like, cool. Everyone else, Justin Karras, whatever, dude. Like, get out of here.
And then my wife picks up freaking Pokemon 2 or 3 weeks beforehand, starts learning VGC, and then goes a 4 or 5 at her first thing.
Not just her first event, her first like any level of competition outside of ladder.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
It was pretty wild. So that was really cool.
Yeah. Do we want to talk about some of these Top Cut teams, or are y'all out of your Series 2 brain entirely?
I'm almost out of my Series 2 brain.
We're getting it's
Yeah. I'll be honest, outside of Rich's crazy squad, there wasn't anything super creative out there. I think most people had kind of checked out and were just trying to pilot teams that they knew worked, not trying to really push the meta because the meta's over type of thing. I do want to say that Zachary Thornburg has been cutting events consistently with this Psych Up Sylveon next to Dondozo. So it's not new, but I do think it's really, really cool just tech to see. Like
Nathan Ortiz's team, I like that with the Vivian and the Orthoworm.
Right. The Orthworm on so that's just outside of Top Cut, but Nathan Ortiz pulling out the.
But it showed up on stream day 2.
Everyone
stream,
went wild for it.
It was so much fun to sit there and chant worm.
Okay, and if we're talking creative teams, you really can't overlook Wolfie here either. He just missed out on Top Cut. He bubbled. Same record as a lot of the people who made Top Cut.
This is
unfortunate.
Like I would expect him just to be streaming with this team, not actually bringing it to a tournament.
I wanna just to say the 6 real quick. You have Assault Vest Ceruledge, Citrus Tinkaton, Focus Sash Espathra, Lefties Sub Fluttermane, Lum Gyarados, and just raw Terra Electric Sandy Shocks.
Yeah.
All wild. Just what a weird team, and he almost Top Cut with it.
I mean, Gravnosis is a thing, so that's not entirely shocking.
Gravity is gravity. It is gravity hypnosis, so that's fair.
Yeah. That makes sense for Espathra and Sandy Shocks, but like seeing like Tinkaton sitting there and being able to do things like feints, ghosts, or whatever, that's also cool.
Yeah, low kick Espathra.
Yeah, it's got low kick for T-Tars.
Yep.
Does Mold Breaker let you break type type immunities? I thought it was only abilities.
No, just a bit.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
I don't think. Sorry,
I thought it was.
Ghosts.
Yep.
But yeah, no. Low kick on the Spathra is weird, but I guess just the 4x into certain Mons into T-Tar and King Gambit.
Just it probably still does a chunk.
I wonder if it must not get Aura Sphere then. I guess if that was the coverage you wanted.
Yeah, I doubt it.
But yeah, what a pretty crazy team. Would have loved to see that on stream, but resistance is resistance. And there has been a lot of
discussion about that.
Yeah, there's been some pretty heavy complaining. I'd argue it's pretty justified in a lot of the cases. We had some... I don't want to really get into it here, but we had some real judging controversy on multiple counts this weekend, and then also just
on the
sheer
TCG
frustration
side.
Yeah,
we'll
on the
say that
TCG specifically, yeah. But I think there were multiple incidents. But yeah, so there's that, and then also just the way resistance is working now. It's pretty wild that resistance can determine such a massive difference. So if you scroll down the 11 threes, 17th place Cedric Bernier means that he got the same exact record as the person in 6th place, but he only gets 60 CP, whereas the 6th place person gets 100. It's also the difference between getting money and not. That 6th place person got $500 and he got nothing. And you can't control who you play, so it's pretty rough, right? And but you still have to suggest a solution to this problem. I don't know what it is.
I mean, I feel like the solution is either some part of the payout is based off your record, and then because the thing is you need resistance to be able to stack these, right? Like there
needs to be a metric before resistance, and I don't know what it is. I've seen people suggest game count. I don't know that I love that because often I'll purposely sack a game if I'm ahead just for information on speed tiers and whatnot.
Yeah.
But if you're good enough to win without that, then maybe that's acceptable, right? A 2-0 is more impressive than a 2-1 pretty much always. I don't know.
Yeah,
but if you do that,
could pull a little weight. I wonder if it would be better also the more maybe the money side get reworked and the CP.
Yeah.
But I wonder if it'd actually be better to push the money all towards the top of the bracket to the top 4.
Yeah, such that
only top
matter.
4. So then you don't feel bad if you're 17th and don't get money and 16th with the same record. If you're top 4, it's okay, yeah, you deserve some money. You were top 4, but then maybe take the CP and spread it out higher, lower down.
I don't hate that because you also if you do the game count thing, then you have the issue of people who tank games early will then just have easy 2-0s. Like,
yeah, and I mean
through like the 0-2, 0-3
Right.
tables, you know.
yeah, and then you're punishing someone that's taking going to 3 games even more than them. They're already
Against
having
the
to play
best of
3
the
games.
best, yeah.
Yeah. So you don't really want to punish people for.
Yeah. The only other alternative really is just to play more Swiss rounds, which I don't know if we have the stomach for or the budget for, frankly.
3-day Swiss.
3-day Swiss. There we go. Let's start playing Friday.
That would hurt. Yeah, I mean,
As long as let's do 5 rounds. 5 rounds, 3 days. Let's go.
I definitely think the CP payout should be redone because CP is nothing, right? It doesn't cost anything to. It's not money. It's not product, right? For cards,
Yeah.
it is just for the invite, and quite frankly, it's a good thing for the scene if more people can play. Because, like, what are the chances that everyone who gets 300 or more CP is going to go to Yokohama?
Well, and then even then, only the top 8 still are the only ones to get the travel allowance in day 2.
Right.
So
So,
I
like,
mean, that doesn't change any of that really.
Right. So, like,
It might change who gets the travel allowance, but it doesn't change the amount of money Pokemon's going to be paying.
Right.
And it's a multifaceted problem too, in that just the CP payout, even for the top 8 who do well in their resistance, is not good enough, to be perfectly frank. Like, regionals don't pay out much at all. You're fighting for your life on day 2 to get an extra 10 points,
Right.
an extra 20 points maybe if you're not top cutting. Whereas at an Internets, which I'd argue is exactly the same level of competition,
Because
it's going to be
Especially
exactly
these
the same
regionals.
people,
Especially these regionals, right.
I think TPCI is just not used to regionals being as massive as they are. But you
Not at
either
all.
need to like elevate
all.
them to super regionals past like 600 people, or
Like how we have
something, I don't
kickers,
know.
there needs to be kickers that kick in to actually up the like if you have a 700 person regional, you should get 300 points for winning that regional. Like
Yeah.
that's bigger than any of the internationals were before COVID. Or
Well, so
anything like
that's
that.
it, though,
this,
right? 'Cause,
This
like,
is getting up there. Like, Orlando was the biggest Pokemon tournament ever. I don't know if Charlotte broke it. I don't think it did because a lot of
Did
people
not.
missed.
Correct.
But it was
We had
very
730.
close. 730 in the end. Like, that's not very far off Orlando. These regionals are maintaining the biggest tournaments ever.
Yeah, like we have Orlando, Knoxville, and Charlotte being like the 3 biggest VGC tournaments of all time. Like that's wild to think about.
It's gonna keep going too. I mean, granted, who wants to go to Indiana? But a lot of people are going to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
and
they-
like so,
yeah.
all these numbers, like these massive tournaments, like it's much larger than it was 3 years prior, right? Like we never had things of this size. So like Pokemon has to go and look at this and be like, okay, we're drawing in this crowd. It is consistent, right? I mean, if they haven't noticed that already, they're going to, I hope. And then they have to make those adjustments to the payouts and to the structure of all this. Like they already changed Swiss, right? Like they added the day 2 Swiss for VGC, which is great. But like,
so they're willing to change.
yeah, they just have to. And who knows? Maybe they're thinking about it now.
I don't think they can change the structure as far as points and all that go mid-season. Like you can just say, okay, we're doing day 2 Swiss. That's a little bit easier of a change.
I think I agree. Like if they're gonna make a big change to like how,
Because everyone's going to be complaining that won a regional before is going to say, well, hey,
Why
you could
didn't
just
I?
give them extra points. Well, if
Yeah.
you redid the money, like you can't just say, okay, give us that 250 back we gave you for top 16. Like,
yeah. So
Can't
like
do
a
that.
change like that will probably come at the end of the season, before the new season,
Yeah.
right? Like that.
Yeah,
that
I think
makes
that'll be
some
a new
sense.
season.
Yeah. We'll have,
And as long as it's
may
on
end
the
up being a
upward
problem.
trajectory.
It may be a problem that fixes itself too, because this is very much the hype from the new game coming out still, right? The first season after a new game is always very big, like compared to previous
Maybe
ones.
we'll go
But
down.
it maintains to some degree, right? Sword and
Yeah.
Shield events were way bigger than the last ones, even after
Yeah.
3 years of pandemic.
Yep.
Well, yeah, like the grassroots tournaments that pops up with Sword and Shield, like compared to what we had before.
Yeah,
Like if you look at past stuff, it was wild. Like you're having 500 person online tournaments.
yeah, and we may still get Players Cups and stuff too. So, speaking of other kinds of events, do you want to talk about some locals?
Yeah. So apparently locals are coming back.
Yeah. On the send off, congrats to Justin Karras and press F for Joe UX9, who
Oh,
lost
yeah, the fact that he-
on a Hydro Pump miss.
Yes.
But
The
he's
Aaron
on brand.
Cybertron saying of our time.
He is on brand. like when are we gonna have Joe run 100% accurate team? Like
he's the kind of person who's gonna run what's optimal statistically, and I respect it. But at the same time, at some point, I would have been spooked by that. It's like, maybe I'm cursed. Maybe someone put a curse on me when I was.
He's
born.
Gonna have water pulse.
Water falls
bundle.
Iron bundle. Like,
yeah, something.
Anyway, so locals. I think we're getting them. I think it's April for TCG and Go, and then May for us.
Yep.
Yes, and we have the league. Oh my gosh, what was it? Championship.
We got
league?
the Premier Challenges.
Then Premier Challenges for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently, this has been known by like professors and whatnot for months.
And they managed to keep it hush hush. I've known impressive.
Well, I've heard inklings from a few.
Yes, like same type of thing, that we were going to get some news in March, that it was coming. But apparently the decision's been made for a while. I know some people who have been preparing for this. So I'm excited because I got my first taste of CP here in Charlotte, and I'm not going to be able to grind out a Worlds invite, but I can get closer with some.
You can take it from someone else.
You're going to get a lot more people going to these events, like people who you may not even have known were in your local scene, because they're going to see the reward and seek it out.
They want to go, yeah.
Well, we only recently found out that Toller Webb is in Atlanta. Goes to actually the place I went to undergrad. He's doing grad school there. He's like 15 minutes down the road. He'll probably show up to our locals if there's points on the line.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Well, that's good though for everybody in the scene.
It is.
Like it's not necessarily about just more points for people. It's about just the opportunity and like the official gameplay kind of aspect of it. But that's how you get new people interested. It's how you teach people and say, "Hey, come to a local." It's not
how
intimidating. It's just come hang out with us.
League Cup. That's what it's called for TCG. Yeah. Sorry, I was looking that up the whole time. And then league challenges, whatever the difference is, I don't know. Yeah, you get to go. No, did we lose Rowan? Oh, your mic. Nope.
Is it bad again?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a second.
All right. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi.
When recording, you cannot change mic settings.
What? Really? But you just did.
Because it got unplugged from me moving it slightly.
Okay. Well, we'll be right back then. What was that?
This micro USB just kind of like it's on the verge of snapping, and you just get it like
with the power of editing.
Well, you could. We're back together. Maybe. Well, yeah. No, that's why you just need you need to invest in an XLR interface. Get a real audio thing going.
Or you could just be my Yeti, the horrible.
That's also a micro USB.
But it works.
I mean, so does this thing when the wire's fine.
You need to do the overhead boom angle maybe to get it out of the way of everything.
I actually I have a project that I'll redo my desk and change how some of this is set up. But anyway, where were we? Regionals, locals, that one.
Locals, yeah.
So my understanding is that you can go to as many of these locals as you want, and you can get up to, I've heard 15 and 30.
30 is first place, at least it was historically.
So
there's also a cap on how many points you can earn from locals total.
It's 6 showings, I think.
6
your
showings.
Top 6.
Yeah, your top 6 showings, but that if you get 30
up to 180
times
points.
Yeah.
Okay,
right?
got it.
There it is. So that's your maximum.
And then you get the what's the one above the Premier Challengers, one above.
So mid-season showdowns have not been officially announced, and I don't.
Yeah.
Well, if we
get
those,
been a thing since pre-COVID,
Yeah. So those might not be coming back, but at least we get locals. We get the scene back. We get to start doing that. We get to. So like I've been looking forward to it. I got my VG judging thing like a year ago. I should probably make sure that's still active, just so that like if locals are around, I could potentially support. And maybe even start one that's closer to me because I don't want to drive an hour to Orlando every
Unfortunately,
week.
You cannot play in your own local.
Yes, you can.
That makes me very sad, I know.
But you can get someone else to be like, hey, don't you want to be a professor?
Don't you want to be don't you want a cool lab coat?
And then you need to talk him into it's like, oh, after you do like 20 or 30 events, they give you one of the cool professor jackets. And
that's all I want. That's actually all I want. I will be a professor just so I can get the points to get one of those stupid lab coats with the Pokemon logo.
I don't know if cool is the right word, but yeah.
So cool. So cool.
You'll feel cool. I think you're cool.
Thank you. But yeah, no. It's cool that's coming back, right? Nonetheless, we finally have answers to that. It gives people who would otherwise not have the chance to get half of their, invite to Worlds, the chance to get that potentially.
Yeah. Over half if we stick with the 300 invite.
Yeah.
In theory, I could make Worlds now if I grind locals and do okay at NAIC or Hartford, but we'll see.
Hey, you and I, we're day two in the next. We're day two in Hartford.
Yeah. Gotta.
I was so freaking close.
Yeah, it's gonna be great, man.
And one of the crazy things to think about too is like if you day two one of these events, like you're day two and like because all these people you're gonna see them at NAIC.
Yep.
So
you'll have repeats.
The field is not going to be much harder at like NAIC, which is crazy to think about. Which is why you should probably get a Worlds invite for just winning.
You do get a Worlds invite for winning NAIC, but I agree you should for regionals too.
These regionals this year because they are insane. Like you almost have they're almost Worlds level competition.
Truly,
like
it's
just
wild.
they're maybe a step below just because of a lot of newer people, the amount of people, but like locals aren't going to be an easy grind for anybody anymore.
Yeah, nope. There's no such thing as free points at this point. The game has advanced, and
you hear that like whenever you have
low.
When you have the veterans on there like Wolfie and all, they all talk about the field now. Like it is not a cakewalk for them anymore.
It's not like it was before Sword and Shield.
No. Because you got to think back in the day, it was not easy to get a fully trained team of Pokemon flat out, or look at and even when if you did have the resources to do so. You didn't necessarily know the meta. There was no Pikalytics. There was no.
There wasn't information.
Yeah.
You didn't have the network. Like we have a network. We all have like this kind of networking that we can all do and build and figure out things together. And
Discord wasn't really big back then either. Like
no.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? Skype? You're gonna Skype call everybody up. Get on Showdown.
We had like Nugget Bridge was the thing. You had Smogon, right? Like that was. I don't know what else there was. I can't think of anything. I was not in the scene, so I don't know.
No, I can imagine playing back in the day. Like, how in the world do you come up with like, oh, this is going to work, this is going to work?
I forget. I imagine I've said this on the pod already, but like I've known that competitive Pokemon was a thing for like a decade now, and I've wanted to get into it, but I didn't have a community. I didn't know the resources. Like it's so hard to do by yourself.
Oh, it is.
Right. So like until Sword and Shield came up, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it now, finally. And then like I found Pokesports on Reddit actually, early on, and then that was how I got to do things.
Oh, it's because the games don't teach you competitive.
Not at all.
It's something you have to seek out the information on your own. So that's always been, and it's still one of the problems with the game is you still have to seek out that information.
Hey, at least one gym leader does doubles.
At least, yes.
Finally.
Finally.
So
no, they had one did doubles in Gen 3, wasn't it? The Psychic Gym and
yes,
yeah, but it's only ever been one gym leader.
Yeah,
right? Like it's only ever been. So.
Okay, so final thing, we are as of recording this, we are 2 days away from it officially being Regulation C time.
Oh yeah, Regulation C.
I don't know about y'all. I have been grinding the ladder at least a little bit on that. Well, I know Sheldon has been for sure.
Yeah,
it's fun. Been watching your sand tune shenanigans secondhand.
It's so much fun.
Yeah, but and we're about to have the first regional. It's going to be a repeat of San Diego and Orlando. Actually, the first day of the format it's going to be a regional in that format. I am so thankful I'm not playing in this one because this seems much harder to build for than Series 2. Like when everything's fresh. I don't really know what to say about that one. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. Like this is going to be a great starting point for the meta. I think whatever happens in
Fort Wayne will
set
the
pace.
It'll set the tone.
Absolutely.
But I feel like there's a lot that can go on in this meta.
Yeah.
Like just from playing like the initial kind of ladder stuff here and everything. Like there's a lot of options you can kind of run with. And I
The
actually
Ruinmons
and like
enable both hyper offense and hyper defense, hyper stall.
Stall.
like
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
at the same on the same team you can run that kind of stuff. Like you
It's
I hate
like
it.
having a fast and slow mode. You can have a go fast and
Yeah.
go slow mode, like in terms of
but
pacing the
it's
game.
I feel like they're not necessarily as fast or slow in this.
Yeah, it's
in
not
this
about
meta,
speed stat. It's like literally
it's
the pace
about
at which
the-
they
yeah,
kill
The
things.
pace of the game.
Yeah, I can either like try to get knockouts every turn, or I can try and we're gonna play this game for a long time.
And I gotta be real with you that I'll have a lot of fun with the long time teams for like on ladder and in tours and like online tours.
Oh, but a real
I'm not
tournament.
bringing that to a regional. I'm not playing 9 consecutive sets of Sand Tomb stall.
No, that sounds terrible.
I'm just gonna let you know I have not lost the Tinglu mirror when they're running Fisher against my Sand Tomb. Sand Tomb wins every time.
Unless they hit.
Unless they hit, but they haven't yet. So
There's a 30% chance
30%
Every
chance.
It
you
works
will
every
lose the
time.
mirror.
Which if I'm running Protect too, so I mean I cut it down even more because you're going to
Terra.
hit it into Protect.
Terra flying.
Terra flying Ting Lu.
Terra flying works.
That's gonna, that's coming, right? Like that's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
So
And also something else I've ran into just to kind of an idea like how other people kind of it's not Sand Tomb, but they've caught on to the whole trapping idea is a lot of Gyarados are running Whirlpool.
oh yeah, sure.
All right.
It
but
it works.
Gyarados is actually, I think, going to be.
Gyarados
on
is
the
actually
comeback.
really
Like,
good in this meta.
An Intimidator who's
Sure.
immune to Ting Lu stuff is pretty
That'd be very good.
legit.
Yeah, the flying helps a lot.
We have
Yeah,
a
which we might even see a resurgence of Salamence if that's the case. I don't know.
Staraptor.
Yeah.
Also, is a flying intimidator.
Yeah, but
They're
doesn't do
usually
much.
their
It's-
choice
it's a
scarf
Pidgeot.
final gambit is
Okay.
if
it's
you
a
see a
Pidgeot doing
Staraptor,
quick final game, but yeah.
yeah, if you see a Staraptor, you can pretty much bet it's going to be final gambit
Gotcha.
and just try to just take your Palafin and smack it before it smacks
Yeah.
you.
Unfortunately, its stats are too bad to like be a real intimidator, like a bulky intimidator. Like
Okay, that's what I thought. I wasn't entirely sure about its bulk, but
it was the best gambiter before
Annihilate.
before Annihilate existed. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And another takeaway is Talonflame is I think even better in this meta. Quick guard. It gets quick guard. Quick guard is very good into this meta with Dragonite and Palafin.
I've seen
Right.
a lot of Indeedee, a lot of Farigiraf, even some Sarina on ladder recently. Like,
Sure. Anything
the-
to stop the priority moves.
yeah, because
Yeah.
the Dragonite E-Speed, the Palafin Jet Punches, like,
Well, the thing with
They-
the Talonflame that's I've been wrecked by is it ran quick guard and feint. I ran into a couple of those.
Oh,
so
hilarious.
you're
Feint is scary.
paired with a Dragonite or something. So you can't priority them first to get rid of the Talonflame, or they could just break your protects while you're trying to get in a position against a Dragonite that's just blowing everything up.
yeah. And yeah,
Yeah, so
like
there's
we're
so
gonna
it's
have a
like
lot to talk about next week.
yeah. So I really like though. I feel like people have already like it's just strategies you didn't see in in Series B, Reg B or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
and
just
there'll
in
be
the
more
long
than we
list.
saw in Series
yeah.
Zero too.
But it's like the same Pokemon, but just different ways of using them.
Yeah. And we're still gonna see Palafin, which makes me happy. We're still gonna see. I want to see Stonejourner again to make Rich happy. That'd be very fun.
Stonejourner and plus Chen Pao,
Yep, absolutely. It's gonna be something dumb.
Power Spot Ice Spinners.
Oh yeah, we haven't even really touched on the Ruinous Mons and just the power they kind of bring, like just a new dynamic.
Yeah, it's crazy how different 4 Mons are going to make the format.
Yeah, because every team's gonna run it, and if you're not running on your team, one of them on your team, you have to at least know how they change all of the math, because it is not like a stat drop. It is just a hard number change.
Yep, it's an
And that
aura.
is
I
Yeah.
think there will be some teams that do well without them, but they're going to have to take them into account. And I think in
Yes.
most
And-
cases you're doing
and
yourself
it's
a
almost-
disservice by leaving them off.
I agree.
It's almost like the Paradox Mons. They're strong on their own, even without their abilities, for the most part.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
but they all have
Like-
really respectable stats.
Yeah.
Like,
Like most of their ability, you can almost just be adding on to their stats with that. You know, a 75% increase to their stat total.
Yep. Or 25, you mean?
Yeah.
Depending, yeah.
Yeah, 25. Yeah.
Other way around, but yes.
Yeah, it's a 75% drop.
It'll be something wild to see. I'm excited because I will use Wochen. I will call it Rochen, and that is my only. I will have to do that at some point. It's gonna exist. I don't know what that team is yet because of all of the ones of like stuff I've seen. Wochen is the least fun one to use. That's okay because I love that slug. I'll make it work.
I like it a lot.
It's good. It's
just
good.
it doesn't like Amoongus. Just keep that in mind.
Right.
It does not do well into Amoongus. So unless
any bug, it's weak to it's grass dark again.
Yeah,
Another one of those.
Yeah.
So
because Pollen Puff does a lot of damage to it from like a non-invested Amoongus, which is pretty wild.
It makes me sad.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's everything.
Is that everything? Yeah, I guess so. I'm still like, I don't know. I'm still super excited coming off of Charlotte. Like, besides everyone that I faced, and I think most of us faced, were all pretty like good sports. You know, had really good interactions with the community at large at the regional. Shout out to Becca for having the one person.
Probably the one person that deserved a DQ at the tournament. Like if anybody got DQ'd from the tournament across all games, should have been that dude.
Yeah, that's a fun story. She wrecked someone who was just being a jerk to her for no apparent reason. Don't get it.
Don't be that person.
Don't be that person at regionals, guys. It's super fun.
Don't be that person in life. Like
anywhere
you go.
Yeah,
like
so
let's just don't be like that.
Don't be a jerk.
Just be nice to people.
But everyone else and the people I faced, people I met, like, you know, if you're one of my opponents who listens to this episode, hi. But like,
if we gave you a business card,
I gave so many cards out. I love that for us. But like, it's just so cool to get together with people and be like, yep, we like this children's video game. We're going to play it competitively and it's going to be a good time for all of us. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for more of that with locals too. And I'm excited to be on Victory Road.
I will say, like, locals we're in a bad area for locals, aren't we? Like I didn't really think about like locals would be anything too crazy in the Carolinas here until like USPA and everything. I'm like, oh, we have a lot of really good players in this area. I'm
mad that the closest local to me is probably going to be an hour and a half away. Because I don't think anyone is like directly close to me. But whatever.
But like
Mr. Atlanta over here though, he's like, I can walk to my locals every Friday and grind out points.
It's a solid 20-minute drive for me actually. But
oh really?
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boo-hoo.
Okay.
Yeah, but we have a tough slate for locals, which is just, I don't know, it's just wild to think about. For me anyway, thinking like there's no one that plays Pokemon around me. Like I'm the only person I feel like in my city that plays.
And then you're in that Discord.
Yeah, and then then I get into USPA and I'm like, oh, we have a really solid, and like we see it at Charlotte, like just our entire player bases.
You know what was really fun about meeting people? Speaking of Charlotte, we got to meet the Poppy Canton.
Yes, we did. Everyone.
Anyway, I think that's where we end the episode.
Okay, thank you.
I have to go edit this. All right. Thank you to RobKTA and Game Chops. These are our theme song, Goldenrod Game Corner, off the Ultraball album. My name is Harrison. You might know me as Rickson. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter there. Maybe if I don't feel like absolute crap tomorrow, like I do right now, I might stream a little bit tomorrow night, or I guess the day this comes out, so today, whatever, however time works, Thursday, hopefully. Maybe we'll stream. Rowan, who are you?
Who am I? I'm Rowan. You can find me on YouTube at just Rowan Hall. I'm almost done editing my video for the Charlotte team. It's not really mine, but some fun games, talk about the team. It's a day 2 team. It's fun. And then you can find me on Twitter at Rowan W. Hall. And I have been joined by...
This is Sheldon. Probably know me, Captain Unova. Captain Unova or Captain _ Unova on Twitter. I haven't streamed. Been mad about that. I have some videos to edit though and upload to some YouTubes. I need to find some time to edit because I got Malamar stuff I need to upload. I found our recording that I thought I'd lost. It just deposited it somewhere else apparently. I don't know. It did what it wanted.
You've been having so much fun with OBS as of late.
Yeah, I know. But I found it, so I need to get those edited and actually uploaded. And I have because I got more I have to record. I'll be playing Rosemary Kelly, or Necra, as you might know her. But yeah, play her and get a video uploaded.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, actually, we'll talk offline. But we should make a cool playlist or collection of all y'all's videos and put them somewhere where
People
the
can
Game Corner can have them.
Yes.
At large. Okay. And together we've been the Game Corner. You can find all of everything we've said and more down in the link tree below. It has all of our stuff. It has our individual projects, the Patreon for the Game Corner. If you want to support us there, that'd be awesome. We have our Discord. Please go ahead and join. We do have the Battle Corner. The last Series 2 Battle Corner is finishing up here, hopefully in a week or so.
Oh, we gotta play.
Within this week, we have to play. I know it's where are the bottlenecks? Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. So we gotta get that done. I'm gonna probably say by the time sometime next week, I'll probably open up signups for the next Battle Corner for Regulation C, so we can get those signups going, and then hopefully have a pretty consistent role for this tournament. So look forward to that. I've gotten so much better at using Limitless now because of this tournament. So yay! Thank you all again for dealing with me and my shortcomings there. But yeah, all that and more down in the link tree below. We have been the Game Corner. Follow us on Twitter, like this episode, on YouTube, on Spotify, the subscribe, whatever the word is there.
Hit the bell icon.
Hit the bell icon on YouTube. Send us a carrier pigeon with your favorite Pokemon team, paste, tied to its leg. Whatever it is you want to do, let us know. Cute. Interact with us on the internet where we all exist. But until next week, press start and game on. Bye. Gosh.
And then there were 2.
Oh, I almost made it the whole episode without coughing into the microphone. Anyway, cool. That's an episode.
We did it.
In 2 parts. An episode in 2 parts.
Your wife's talking shit on your Twitter post because you can't do grammar, I guess.
I probably can't. Every time I tweet, it's exercise and can I get a thought out and can my phone actually not autocorrect me in the wrong way? What do I do? I don't have any notifications. Oh, yeah, I do. Never mind.
Oh,
they
play Pokemon. I'm just about to say that.
What?
The global challenge,
Yeah, so there probably will be points for it. I'd
like a
imagine.
Players Cup.
Yeah,
Oh, did I play Pokemon post then? Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
it's on Cerebi too.
Global Challenge 2023 online competition. Let's go. I'm glad this made it in the back half, the back portion of the episode.
Right.
Go look at Cerebi and find out whatever this is.
I don't see
Players-
points on there anywhere.
You get 10,000 league points for participating.
Players get a Pokeball canvas bag code for playing 3 battles.
League points are just like the in-game currency. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing
kind
exciting.
of worthless. Yeah.
Unless they like
No.
kind of spring it, like, because with the Players Cups they kind of did that. They're like after the international challenge, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, you finish this high, you get into what we have a Players Cup
yeah,
now.
Yeah. They didn't tell us until later.
Yeah, it's like, oh cool. All right, guys, I gotta run.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna
Later.
bounce too.